Today we have one full day here in Dublin and we'll be exploring Viking history, medieval cathedrals, quiet hidden corners and colourful street art on foot. Let's start walking and see where the city takes us. Hello everyone, welcome to Cat Couple Chronicles. It's a beautiful morning here in Dublin, and since this is our only full day in the city, we'll be making every minute count. We are starting things off by grabbing a quick breakfast on the go because there's a lot to see and we don't want to waste any time. First stop of the day is St. Michan's Church. This historic church is one of the oldest surviving parishes in Dublin, with origins dating all the way back to 1095. It was originally established to serve the Viking community that once settled here. So we are literally stepping into layers of medieval history this morning. It's a small church and the interiors are simple but beautiful. The design is quite modest, yet it has a lot of historical value. The organ here dates back to 1724 and is said to have been played by the German-British composer George Frederick Handel. The wooden gallery you see here is believed to be original, and along with the organ, it is the main highlight of St. Michan's Church. The crypts are a major attraction here. In June 2024, a 39-year-old man deliberately set fire to the crypt, damaging many of the mummified remains. Because of this incident, the crypts remained closed for almost 9 months. They reopened around April 2025, and guided tours of the crypt are now available Monday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Entry to the church itself is free, though the guided tours of the crypt cost £3.5 per adult. I don't really like closed or confined spaces, so visiting the crypt was never part of our plan. I'm not completely sure, but I'm guessing this might be the entrance to the crypt. And I'm quite happy to admire it from the outside and not go in. What do you think? Would you be interested in getting down there? We are back on the road and are now heading to the other side of the River Liffey for our next stop, Christ Church Cathedral, which was originally founded as a Viking church. The cathedral itself was founded around 1030 by Sihtric, a Viking king of Dublin. Doesn't that sound interesting? Dublin itself was founded by the Vikings in the 9th century. So when you walk through these streets, you're actually following in their footsteps. If you think about it that way, exploring the city feels even more exciting. The area around Christ Church Cathedral was once a major Viking archaeological site. However, the council office building now stands on top of much of that site. Many of the artifacts discovered here can be seen at Dublin, which is located just across the street from the cathedral. Christ Church Cathedral is well known for its 19th century stone bridge, often called the Skywalk. Connected to the cathedral by this medieval style footbridge is Dublin, which features Ireland's premier Viking exhibition. Inside this interpretive center, you can learn about Viking homes, pastimes, skills, and weaponry, and you can even try on Viking style clothing. It is often said that the Vikings introduced trousers to Ireland. The Dublin Viking and Medieval Museum is open daily from 10 am to 6 pm, with the last entry at 5 pm. These are cast replicas in bronze and steel of some of the more unusual Viking artifacts discovered during the Wood Quay excavations, including a toy boat and several combs. Altogether, there are 18 black granite slabs forming this installation. These plaques were created by the artist Rachel Joynt, who also made People's Island, which I featured in my last video. I'll link that video in the comment section below. Visitors have been coming to Christ Church Cathedral for over 1,000 years now. Self-guided tours are available and tickets cost £12 per adult. You can purchase tickets at the cathedral itself, but if you buy them online, you may get a small discount. Guided tours are also available for those who prefer a more detailed visit. It's a magnificent blend of 12th century Romanesque and Gothic architecture, with soaring arches and a wide nave that really stand out. This unique sound installation introduces technology that is being used in Ireland for the first time. It is fully wheelchair accessible and available to visitors on the viewing platform at the entrance to the grounds. From here, you can listen to an immersive soundscape inspired by the cathedral. The audio is transmitted through bone conduction technology built into the platform railing, allowing you to hear the sound in a very distinctive way. Here you can see a detailed replica of the cathedral with all the important sections marked clearly to help visitors understand the layout. Just opposite Christ Church Cathedral is a small park, and this installation here is known as Millennium Child. And that stone footbridge really makes the cathedral stand out. We are just passing by St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is only about 400 meters from Christ Church Cathedral. St. Patrick's Cathedral is the largest cathedral in Ireland and one of the country's most important pilgrimage sites. St. Patrick is credited with bringing Christianity to Ireland, which makes this place especially significant in Irish history. We'll now head towards Longwood Avenue for our next stop, Sir David Attenborough mural. And we are now at Longwood Avenue. This mural is dedicated to Sir David Attenborough. It was unveiled in May 2019 to mark his 93rd birthday, and it has become one of the notable pieces of street art in this part of the city. Just opposite the mural is this cute little cafe that immediately caught our attention with the name Little Bird. It is so charming, and on the right it says coffee/yoga, which is quite a unique combination. It definitely looks tempting, so let's stop for a cup of coffee and take a short break before we continue exploring. After a short coffee break, we resume our walk, and just a little further ahead, we come across St. Kevin's Catholic Church. This stop is not part of our original plan, but since it looks so quiet and peaceful, I decide to step inside, and am quite surprised by its beauty. Founded in 1865, it is considered one of Dublin's finest examples of Gothic revival architecture. In November 1903, a new organ was acquired, and the grisaille stained glass, the largest of its kind in Ireland, was installed here. The windows in the original body of the church consist of light, neutral toned diamond shaped quarries in grisaille style, interspersed with a motif featuring ruby glass. It truly feels like a hidden gem tucked away from the busy streets. Apart from us, not a single tourist is in sight. So if you're looking for a church that's away from the hustle and bustle of tourists, this is definitely a great choice. From here, we are heading to Liberty Lane, another well-known spot for street art and murals. Liberty Lane is a narrow lane tucked behind the houses along the main street. But once you step in, the walls on both the sides are completely covered with artwork. Different artists have contributed to the space, so every mural looks completely different from the next. And with that, we wrap up the first half of our only full day in Dublin, walking through Viking history and vibrant murals. In the next part, we continue our walk through St. Stephen's Green, explore the murals of Love Lane, and finally make our way to the lively streets of Temple Bar. If you enjoy relaxed walking tours like this, do check out our other videos where we explore cities on foot, including Belfast and several other European destinations. Till then, take very good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.